guys, it's Chanel and welcome back to my channel, and I hope that everyone had an amazing holiday season, that you got the Christmas present that you wanted, that you did something for New Year's Eve, that you saw the ball drop, and that you'll be able to reach your New Year's resolutions. And my New Year's resolution is to make sure that I get more content out for you guys. So I wasn't able to make some videos during this time because college process and stuff and trying to get those in, so I couldn't record. But my New Year's resolution is to make sure that I get these videos out for you guys. I've been getting requests for some videos that I'll be making today. So if you have any video that you want me to make, please make sure to put it down in the description box, because I do see them and I will make them if you just ask. So make sure you put whatever you want to see in the description box so I can give it to you guys. I would love if you guys can go support my business called Kids Cosmetics Co. And we basically make homemade, cruelty-free, and vegan like cosmetics products. So far we're making lip glosses and shimmering body oils, and we'll be coming out with a new product very soon. And I'll also be having a giveaway for me hitting 100 subscribers, and the directions for the giveaway will not be put in this video but in like another video, so you guys can have the opportunity to buy some of my products. I would also love it if you guys can follow me on my social media. I'll put my Instagram and stuff right here, and I'm almost at 1,000 followers, so if you guys want to get me to 1,000, that would be great. If you guys have any questions for me about boarding school, about life, if you need advice about anything, please feel free to DM me. I will receive them if Instagram allows, because I know that like they will, like someone will DM me and then I won't get it for some reason. And I'll also be making an email for my subscribers, so that if you have any questions that you can just email me and I'll get back to you as best as I can. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this video. I do have two disclaimers before we start talking about the tips and tricks. First is that my process is like, my advice is really specific to my process, and I learned more about the traditional boarding school applications recently. So I will be talking both about like my process and the traditional process, even though they're not like that different. But I just want to like be like really clear that I didn't have like the traditional boarding school process, so some questions I may not be, like if you have some certain questions I may not be fully aware of certain things, but they're essentially the same, just some discrepancies. But I just will put that out there. And my second disclaimer is that you will see me wear this in multiple videos, just because I'm trying to get as many out there as possible. So you will be seeing me wear the same clothes a lot. I'm trying to give you guys back-to-back videos. So one today about application tips and tricks, and the one tomorrow will be about SSAT tips and tricks, so that you guys can apply to boarding school and that you guys know what to do. So let's talk about what the boarding school application process is like, every single thing that you need to do, and then the tips and tricks for you to have a bomb application. So the first thing that you need to do is have the application portal. So it's similar to college process. You have two portals actually, and let me pull up the names. They're called Gateway to Prep Schools, and they're also called the SAO. There's like the SSAT like portal. So there's two portals that you need to know about. So if you don't see certain schools that you would like to apply to on one portal, you have to check out the other one, because there are different schools and different portals. So make sure to have that noted if you can't find the school that you want to apply to. So you have the two portals, and for me, I had 12 schools. My program like had 12 schools in their consortium, so we had one application that we sent to those 12 schools. And for the SAO and the Gateway to Prep schools, they have like all the boarding schools that you can apply to, and it's just like one mass application, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure if they have like certain boarding schools have their own specific questions, so If you are looking into that, you should probably double check that, but for the most part it's one application that you put all your information on, and that you just like send that out there. And there are 5 questions, I believe, on the application portals, and they range from like talk about your favorite book, who do you look up to, talk about like a character trait of yours, or like your personality. So like any those questions can range. I'm not sure of those specific ones. And also, why do you want to go to boarding school? That's a big one. So you have to answer that, and you have to fill out the application and send out to schools. And that's step 1. Step 2 is the SSAT, and that's just a standardized testing for boarding schools, and it's similar to like the SAT and ACT, but just tailored for younger students. So you have to take that, and it's a really long test, and I'll be talking about those tips and tricks in another video, so I won't talk about that in this video. But just so you guys know, you don't take a standardized test for it, and all stuff, and there are fees that go into that as well, so you have to pay for that. Third is your interview. So you will have to, for the most part, have an interview, and you can either go to the school and tour as well as have an interview. You can have a phone interview, or if there's an admissions person coming to your area, you can interview with them in person. Next is application fees and financial aid. So there are application fees that you need to like pay for when you're applying to these boarding schools. It is a lot, so hopefully you can, if you aren't able to afford it, you can contact the school, see if you can get a fee waiver. But just try to figure that out if you aren't able to pay for it. And then your financial aid forms, you have to fill all those out, and make sure that you get those in on time. So now that you guys know what the application process is, we're gonna get into the tips and tricks. So my first tip is for the essays, and make sure that you guys double check, triple check, quadruple check your essays. And I know that that's just like duh, you know, like why would you do that? But I have read some boarding school essays, and you need to make sure that your grammar is correct, your punctuation is correct, your spelling is correct, because you can just look over and be like, yeah, my essay is fine, but you can have a spelling error, you can have like a grammar error, and you want to make sure those are like top notch, because you are competing with hundreds of, maybe even thousands of kids for these like really selective spots. And if you have grammar errors, like spelling errors, the schools are not gonna really want to accept you, because they want strong writers in their schools. My second essay tip is to make sure that you're answering the question. And again, with my previous tip, it's just like that's common sense, but you'll be surprised even in the college process that some people don't answer the questions to the prompts that the schools are asking. So it'll be like, why like what is your favorite book, and you'll talk about like, oh, what is my like favorite activity, or why do you like going to boarding school, and then you'll talk about like something completely different, and you're not answering the questions that the schools are giving you. Or if they're like 2-part questions and you'll answer one part of the question but then you'll neglect the other part, that can also be detrimental to your application, because they want you to answer the full question. Make sure you're hitting it, like you're hitting that question like fully on the nail. Like you need to make sure that you answer those questions properly, and that you're not like going off on like a tangent, or you're just like going off and not fully answering it, because like then they'll be like, okay, like do they really want to go to boarding school, because they're not talking about why they love the boarding school. Or if it's school specific, you're not talking about the specific school, you're just talking about boarding school in general, then you're just like, okay, do they really want to go to this school if you're not talking about it specifically? My next tip for your essays is to make sure that you can see if your teachers can read over your application. And that's something I didn't note, is that you need to have 2 teacher recommendations, I think, to send in for your application. So make sure that you send that in as well as your transcripts. But it is also nice to make your teachers look over your essays, just because they have experience in writing these essays, and that they can catch up on the mistakes that you may not catch up on, or they can help you reword some sentences to make it sound a little bit more professional, so that you can sound as the strongest applicant that you can be. So teachers are a great tool to utilize when you're going through this process, because they know what great essays sound like. My 4th tip for essays is to make sure that you are speaking from your own perspective, and that you sound unique but also sound like yourself. There are a lot of people that will talk about things that they feel like the school wants to hear. So they're maybe good at dance, but then they'll talk about mathematics for some reason because they feel as if the school wants to hear that. And that's one thing. Try to appeal to the school, but also make sure that you sell yourself, and don't try to assume that a school wants a certain thing, because if you're not unique to yourself and you're just talking about things that you don't really have a lot of experience on, or that you're not passionate about, it shows in your essays. The schools know when you're not fully into something, or you're not really interested in something, and that they want people that are fully passionate about what they're talking about. And if you're talking about something that you don't really know about, they know, they've read thousands upon thousands upon thousands of applications, and it's better to sound like yourself. They want to know about your personality, what you like, probably not what you dislike, but just the things that you love and what you're passionate about, so that you can possibly bring to the school. So make sure that you're true to yourself, and even if you've gone through some things, you've gone through some struggles that you've overcome, they love to hear about that. So talk about that if you want to. I forgot what number I'm on, but a great tool to use, or a great trick that you should try, is putting your essays in Google Translate, and then letting it this is really bad noise, but putting your essays in Google Translate and making it speak it back to you, because when you're just reading your essays, you don't catch up on certain mistakes. But if you hear it and you hear that it doesn't flow, or that it's a mistake, then you're able to correct it. So that's a great thing to use when you are editing your essays by yourself, and that you don't have anyone, so that you can hear the essay, you can hear the mistakes, and that you're just able to fix them. Next tip is that you should try to put down not as many extracurricular activities as possible, but try to put some down, but you don't have to be overwhelmed with extracurricular activities. So what a lot of people think is that you have to be the captain of this, captain of that, leader of this, head of that, and have to do so many extracurricular activities. But even if you have 1 or 2 that you're really committed to, that shows more than someone that does 10 different clubs or 10 different activities that they aren't really passionate about, and that also shows. So they want someone that's consistent with what they're doing, and that's someone who is passionate about what they're doing, and that you're not overwhelmed with stuff. Because when you're at boarding school, yes, you have a lot of things going on, but you have to be able to balance your extracurricular activities and your grades. And if you have 10 different clubs that you're in, but you're not really participating in them, that's just what are you doing? So put down the stuff that you do, and even if you babysit for if you have a sibling and you have to babysit them for your parents, or if you have a job, or if you're part of student council, or if you create a club, or if you play an instrument, those are considered extracurricular activities, and you don't have to be the head of something, but simply taking care of your siblings if your parents aren't just don't have childcare, can be seen as extracurricular activity. And that also shows your leadership position, your leadership characteristics, and how you take initiative, and that you're super responsible. The next tip